Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mary Rutan Foundation's weekly webinar series. My name's Christy Barnes. Can everyone hear me all right this morning? You can raise your hand, please. Very good, thank you. My name is Christy Barnes, and I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator with Mary Rutan Hospital, and will be your host today during today's webinar. Today, today we are going to hear from Dr. Anna Clem-Badouar. She is going to present on creating calm in uncertain times, which we're certainly faced with a lot of those these days. But Dr. Clem is originally from the Plain City area. She went to medical school at Ohio University and returned home to be closer to family and to serve her community. Anna was in private practice for 12 years prior to joining Mary Rutan Hospital. She is at the Urbana Clinic currently. She lives in Marysville with her husband and 2 daughters. Dr. Clem enjoys yoga, running, gardening, and spending time with her family. So we will hear what Dr. Clem has to say in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anna Clem-Badouar. I'm a board-certified family physician working at the Mary Rutan Urbana Clinic. I'm originally from the Plain City area. I went to Jonathan Older High School. After graduation from medical school at Ohio University, I returned to the area in order to be closer to my family as well as to serve my community. I'm excited to partner with patients to help them live their best life and to be as healthy as they can be. Because promoting wellness is one of the things that I enjoy the most in my medical practice, I would like to talk to you today about things that you can do to support your physical and mental well-being during these uncertain times. There have been a lot of increased anxieties and tensions centered around the current coronavirus pandemic. As a human being, when we feel threatened, there are certain stress hormones that are secreted in our bodies to prevent us from immediate harm. The fight or flight response, also known as the acute stress response, refers to a physiological reaction that occurs in the presence of something that is terrifying, either mentally or physically. The response is triggered by the release of hormones that prepare your body to either stay and deal with the threat or to run away to safety. They heighten our awareness. They give us extra energy in our muscles to run away from that danger. They increase our heart rate and open up our lungs so that we can breathe and get more oxygen. Over long periods of time, though, this heightened sense of awareness can be detrimental. It can lead to anxiety, to muscle tension, increased blood pressure, headaches, digestive issues, sleep disturbances. Right now, there are many things that are out of our control. Many things have been taken away. The ability to hug a friend, to be able to celebrate someone's accomplishments in a traditional manner, or to be able to be around people during grief. Some people have lost jobs. The ability to be in a public place and feel safe is lost. These things we cannot change. They're outside of our control. Even though there's many things that we cannot change at this moment, let's try to fix the things that we can. There are a few things that you can do right now in order to create some calm, ease the anxiety and tension that you're feeling, and decrease your stress hormone response. There is one thing that's within our control, and that's our self-care. What is self-care, you say? Self-care is taking the time to focus on what's important to you and doing things that make you happy every day. Let's take a look at a few things within the self-care realm. Routine. Routines are very important in self-care. Routines are helpful for our bodies because our brains recognize patterns. These patterns of behavior, whether it be through a routine task or a scheduled timed activity, will help us to create a sense of calmness and a sense of knowing of what to expect. So for example, you take a quarter, you put it into a gumball machine. You expect that you're going to get a gumball out because that happens every time. This behavior can be recreated over and over again, and our brain becomes to expect it. You can create new routines and patterns for yourself based on what's going on in your household right now. Don't let a new working environment throw you off track. Write down your schedule, plan your day. What time will you wake up? What time do you want to go to bed? What activities do you want to accomplish? Create some transitions between all of your activities. Make times for breaks, for stretching, for snacks, for lunch, for dinner. Write down everything that's going to be scheduled throughout the day. Do you need to incorporate more time in your day for hand hygiene or for wearing a mask, putting it on before work and taking it off after work? Do you need to have more disinfection practices incorporated into your day? If you're working from home, try to establish a routine that's similar to when you were traveling to work. Try to wake up around the same time. Get ready just in the same manner that you used to, but without the drive. Use that drive time for some self-care. If you're currently out of work, what can you do to have purpose to your day? Do you spend a defined amount of time looking for a job or working on a project that you've put off? When scheduling your day, make sure that you include snack breaks, stretch breaks, movement breaks, as well as lunch and dinner. Be kind to yourself. Within your self-care, it's really important to set some healthy boundaries. Boundaries are things that you can do to maintain your work-life balance. This allows both your employer and your family to know when you're going to be available and at what time. You're not only setting boundaries for them, but also for yourself. For many of us, we're all at home. Kids working from home for school, parents working from home to help them with their schooling, as well as doing their own job from home. Therefore, it's really important to set expectations and set those boundaries. Have a definite start to your workday and a stop to your workday. Try to avoid doing work outside of working hours, and definitely avoid doing household duties during your working hours. It will help to have a more defined time and space, both for you and for your family and your employer. Every task that you have on your scheduled plan should have a start and stop time. Don't leave projects open-ended, continuing on and on until you get them finished. This will leave you feeling unaccomplished, unsettled, unfocused, and generally unhappy. Give yourself some realistic goals and write them down. Try to hold yourself accountable. Don't procrastinate things that you need to get done. Make a list and prioritize that list. Organize your workspace. Your mind will be more clear with less clutter. Working on one project at a time will help to enhance your focus. Really try to get away from multitasking during this time. Put away your phone. Avoid both online and physical distractions. Put away your phone and other smart devices while you're working on work unless you absolutely need it. Really try to avoid checking emails outside of work time. The average American spends about 2 hours per day on social media. A recent U.S. poll showed 21 minutes on Pinterest, 51 minutes on Facebook, and 17 minutes on Twitter. Let's put the phone down. Set a time limit and hold yourself accountable to that time limit. Start your task by taking a few deep breaths and really focus on what you have at hand. When the time is up, you stop that task and move on to the next one. Make sure to remember to take breaks regularly. The next on our list of self-care is exercise. Exercise is so important. You can get it in small ways throughout the day. If you're on a phone call, get up and walk around during the phone call. If you need to take a bathroom break, go to a different floor to take that bathroom break. No matter where you're working, get up and move every 30 to 60 minutes, even if it's just to do some gentle stretching. Here are a few simple chair yoga exercises to help you get some stretching in while you are seated at your desk at work. Take a walk before you start your workday, or at the end of the day, or both. Check in with your posture several times a day. Increased anxiety can cause you to have a forward rolled shoulder and a forward head position. It's really important to try to get those shoulders back and down and tuck that chin, especially if you're working on the computer throughout the day. Plan some intentional cardiovascular exercise for at least 30 minutes every day, at least 5 days a week. Things like brisk walking, cycling, or even doing a YouTube video online. Next up in self-care is eating a healthy diet. It's so critical that you take in a good, healthy diet that includes lots of fresh vegetables and fruits along with lean protein. These things not only will help to boost your immune system, but will also help to give you a consistent mood. Avoid refined sugars as well as starchy carbs. So refined sugars are things that you find in candy and in soda pop. Starchy carbs are things like pastas, breads, potatoes, rice, things that really make your sugar highs and lows. You also want to try to avoid packaged processed foods. It really helps to create mood stability if you don't have too much caffeine as well as alcohol in your diet. There are certain types of foods that you can incorporate into your diet that really help with brain health and boosting your mood. Things that contain omega-3s as well as selenium and vitamin D and tryptophan. Consuming more of these types of foods will help to ward off depression naturally. There's some really good examples of these foods in nuts like walnuts, in fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, tuna. Turkey has tryptophan in it, as well as having some low-fat dairy in your diet for vitamin D, and then also having some whole grains to try to help balance out and keep your carbs from spiking throughout the day. Get outside, get some sun, whether it be for a breath of fresh air or just to do some yard work or walk around the block. 10 minutes of sun every day will boost your active vitamin D through that sun exposure. Good sleep hygiene. What does this mean exactly? Basically, it's rules for routine sleep. It's important to develop a pre-bedtime ritual that helps with relaxation. Avoid electronics at least an hour before bed. Avoid eating a large meal, smoking, drinking caffeine or alcohol directly before bed. Make your bedroom a restful place. Keep it cool, quiet, and dark. Keep a consistent bedtime and waking time routine. Try not to vary it by more than an hour. If you don't fall asleep after 20 or 30 minutes, get out of bed! When you've realized that you can't get to sleep, get up and go to another room. Keep the lights dim and do a relaxing activity. When you feel like you're getting sleepy, head back to bed. Give yourself about 10 minutes to try to get to sleep, and if you can't sleep, start over again. I don't want you to stay in bed and force yourself to try to sleep. You want to try to prevent yourself from checking the time, as well as don't play on your phone, check your email or social media, and really, really don't watch TV. Number 8 on self-care is limiting screen time. Watching the news may increase your stress response and increase the amount of cortisol that you're putting out every day. Limit the amount of TV as well as digital media that you're taking in every day. Just like how you set time limits for the other activities throughout your day, set time limits on the amount of television that you'll watch. This goes for kids too, for all digital media. Current recommendations from the American Academy of Pediatrics suggest that kids 24 months and under really shouldn't be on any kind of digital media except for maybe video chatting with grandma and grandpa or friends. And then those kids from 2 years to 5 years should really be limited to about 1 hour of really quality type of video programming once a day. And so what is that? That's something that's educational and something that you can talk about later with your child to try to incorporate real life to that program that they watched. Number 9 in our practicing self-care is connecting with others. It's so important to keep that connection, even if you can't physically touch or hug that person. There are many different ways that we can connect. Old-fashioned letter writing through the mail. You could have a Zoom meeting with them and see each other face to face. There's also FaceTime, as well as other platforms that are out there on the web. You could have a book meeting, a book club, a virtual book club. You could also try to have a happy hour through Zoom with multiple friends. And so trying to really connect, to stay connected to our friends and our family is super important during these times, and that's really good for your self-care. And the last in our list, number 10, for practicing self-care is compassion. Please be compassionate with yourself. Give yourself some grace. Many of these things are new. If you get distracted, lose your focus, mess up in some way, cut yourself some slack. Learn from your experiences and make tomorrow better. Use positive words for your inner self-talk. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a small child. Don't be mean to yourself. Show some compassion your way. Thank you for attending this webinar today. I hope that you find practicing good self-care through routine, boundaries, exercise, healthy eating, good sleep hygiene, connection, and compassion will really help to bring you a sense of peace and well-being during these uncertain times. As always, if you're struggling, reach out. Reach out to a loved one, to a friend, and if you need us, we're here. Seek out your primary care provider. We're always happy to talk. Thanks and have a good day.
All right, a lot of great information from Dr. Clem. Excuse me, a lot of good tips that we can take with us every day. Next week, we are going to hear from Amy Keller again. Amy is going to share with us facts on food allergies. I know there's a lot of discussion today on the types of foods that are good for you, and sometimes if you're not feeling well, perhaps it's what you're eating, and perhaps that you have an allergy to some type of food that you're eating. So looking forward to hearing what Amy has to say next week. Again, Just the Facts on Food Allergies will be June 30th at 10 a.m. So hope you can join us. Thank you.